with Ace Home Inspections, I've had the business for 7 years, going on 8 years now. April of 2017 is when I went full-time. In that time, I covered over almost 3,000 inspections. I've been president of the state association 4 years and just recently ended my stint as past president. And I also am president of the Fox Valley chapter of the Wisconsin Association of Home Inspectors. So I've been able to run quite the gamut of leadership, sometimes by default, sometimes because maybe I'm doing a good job.
Why would you say an inspection is important?
Because we go places and homes you didn't even know you had. We as home inspectors understand buyers, clients want loved ones. They trust their parents to say, oh, I know a lot about houses, I know a lot about construction. Well, keep in mind we have special training that we take monthly, twice a year, and we have 2 hours, 3 hours to go through a house. We're showing you have 10 to 15 minutes. So we get it. We love mom and dad. My dad is my hero. I wouldn't trust him to go through a house because even though he taught me everything I know, I wouldn't trust him to go through a house and say, yeah, Rick, you should buy this house. There's just too much that we know that parents sometimes just don't.
How would you pick a home inspector?
The last thing let's start with is how much do you charge? You get what you pay for with home inspectors. Ask where they're getting their education. If they're getting it from the Wisconsin Association of Home Inspectors, attending monthly chapter meetings in their area, attending our twice-a-year seminars, they're getting the absolute best education in the state. Ask them what their background is. Myself, I was a realtor for 6 years, but I also I was a framing carpenter for 15 years. I've done everything in a home that you can do. So kind of get what their background is. Some people maybe don't have a background you like. Ask questions, get to know their personality as well.
Would you say that your networking is kind of amped up by your place in the community?
Yes, I would definitely say, especially coming from North Fond du Lac, it's a very small town. The fact that my signs are up at all the youth basketball events, youth football events, baseball, I'm coaching them all. That's a huge, huge bonus to my job. There's other realtors that are sponsoring those events as well, so I'm rubbing elbows with them. But when you see the amount of time and the amount of money that I put into the youth organizations in the area, that's definitely a huge help to my business in that area.
Is a home inspection required?
Unfortunately not. It is something that can be negotiated. I would love it to be because they've had a basement repair that they couldn't afford to do. They found mold up in their attic that that was going to be $8,000 to $10,000 that they don't have. You know, this market has really, I think, opened a lot of eyes to the importance of what we do as home inspectors. But unfortunately, there's nothing that says you have to do it.
Along those lines, what advice would you give to someone looking to skip the inspection?
Don't. That's it. That's it. Because at the very least, do it after you move in. You always want to do it beforehand because you want to be able to work around whether it's financially having a seller fix something. Work around it so you're a little more comfortable in it. But at the very least, have it done after the fact so you have a really good idea of what you need to be taking care of now, what can maybe happen a year from now, and maybe plan for that. Hey, I found out I have an older furnace. Plan for that 5 to 10 year expense that might come up. But if you can at all costs, don't. There's just so much that the common person buying a house doesn't know that we're trained to know.
What are the top things you are looking for while you're doing a home inspection?
So we're looking for health and safety hazards, which, because that's, in my eyes, a simple yes or no question, can look a little petty at times. 3/4 inch lip in a sidewalk is a trip hazard. People kind of giggle when I tell them that, but that's what Wisconsin state law says we have to look at. Health and safety hazards, and also identify items that if we don't fix them in a home or remove them, they could cause, significant is the word they use, which creates a big gray area, but could cause issues with the home. I'm trying to tell you the things that spend dimes to save dollars down the road. Essentially, we're telling the future in some points with your house. Get it fixed to make sure that something worse doesn't happen down the road for you.
So in what scenarios are you seeing skipped inspections?
There's this urgency to purchase a home. So I get it, the market dictated that, and that's been the biggest thing these last 3 years is they're having to pick the lesser of the evils. Is it having a home to move into and not paying rent and not throwing money out the door and maybe dealing with some stuff down the road, or do we do a home inspection and write another 15 offers until we can get into a house that we like? If you're dealing with the Wisconsin Association of Home Inspector, we'll go WAHI from now on. A WAHI inspector, everything is in-house. Their education is not only in-state, but if they're dealing with the Fox Valley chapter, now we've narrowed it down to Northeast Wisconsin. So our education is so much more specific that you won't find a better home inspector in the state of Wisconsin, other than the guys that I sit with at a table once a month and meet up with around the state twice a year, learning from experts in every field. They know more than what the state asks us to know, and I think that's a great benefit to anybody out there that's buying a house.